here now, you get to see all this fun stuff take place. I sit there and talk too much, and then I look over, and Wade or Niles gives me the finger, the you're on finger.
Which finger?
Right.
Yeah, which finger?
Right, which finger, right.
Depends how many times we have to tell them.
All right, that's enough. That's enough. There's still people coming in. Let's not go down that path yet.
Yep.
All right. Very good. Are we 7 o'clock, Ed?
Yes, we are.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much for being here tonight. We are at the Poolesville Town Commissioners meeting. It's November 18th, 2024. We have the full broad spectrum of current commissioners here with, in addition to all 5 commissioners. We've got Niles and Wade here. We've got our town engineer, John Strong, in the house. Former Commissioner Jerry Klobakowski, a great audience, probably thousands on YouTube already. No? Okay, thank you, new audience, you guys. I tried all my jokes. All right, so before we get started, as always, we'd like to have Jeff lead us for the last time. Don't get choked up. The pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Jim.
Jeff, that's a home run, buddy. I'm going to miss you on that one. All right, so as is our custom here on every other November, we've had an election, and with the election taking place, we have an election report that's been generated, and I'm sure one of our 2 members of staff is going to give it, or are you going to designate somebody that's here to give it?
Chairman of the Election Board, Mr. Tom Kettler.
All right, Mr. Tom Kettler. Oh, and former Commissioner Chuck Stump as well. So we have pseudo Commissioner Tom Kettler and former Commissioner Chuck Stump here to give us the election report. And before you get started, you guys, I want to say thanks again for all your hard work and everything you've done and what you continue to do. We appreciate it. Chuck came all the way back from the Appalachian Trail to get here on time to do this.
Just in time.
Yeah.
Dedication.
Good evening, Commissioners. I'm Tom Kettler, Chairman of the Board of Election. First, I did want to recognize our 8-member Board of Election staff that worked on November 5th to make the election go smoothly. We had a great day, and there were no hiccups. And our Vice Chair, Mr. Stump, who has been previous chair, did a wonderful job as always. And I did want to shout out to Maggie, our new town clerk. I believe it was her first day or first time running an election, and I thought she did a great job.
With a whole new process.
Huh?
With a whole new process.
Yeah, with a whole new process. The only complaint we had, people still miss the old machines, including me, the old curtain thing, but apparently, as we had to tell about 100 or 200 voters that the machines were just broken. They were not available anymore according to the election.
And give us some background. What happened to those machines? I know they're probably...
They got so old, they couldn't, well, you probably know,
Yeah,
Chuck.
they can't get spare parts anymore.
Yeah.
They had been custom manufacturing spare parts for a little while, but they just can't.
Right.
Can't do anymore, so they went to, apparently they're in the junk.
Even with 3D printer, these days they couldn't come up with?
Couldn't come up with it, so. And also thank our esteemed legal counsel, Mr. Gullo, who also assisted the evening of. So with that, I will move on to the results. We have 4,933 registered voters according to our ranks. The turnout, including in-person and some absentee voting, was a total of 1,377. And the vote count went as follows. The most votes went to returning Commissioner Mr. Ed Reed at 1,093. Second vote getter was Brian Bupp at 1,035. Number 3 was Alan Hobbs at 867. And the fourth candidate, Mr. Commissioner Echt, had 730 votes. So with that, the 3 elected commissioners for a 4-year term will be Mr. Reed, Mr. Bupp, and Mr. Hobbs. And people have asked me in terms of percentage of turnout, if you do the math, it's about 28% of the registered voters, although, I think there are a lot of, I don't say a lot, there's certainly people on the rolls that, there's some duplication, people move out of town, they don't necessarily get removed because we get our results, we get our election list from Montgomery County. So there were people on there that I know that are, there were some deceased folks that are on there, so they're not voting unless they come from Chicago.
That's the American way.
Exactly. So with that, we'd be happy to answer your questions, but that is,
I do have a question for you. So is it possible, people have asked me to break out the bullet voting? Can you tell, is that a number that you guys, can't you just throw that into some AI? Yeah, what about chat box and
I don't.
plug it in there and see if that can tell us?
If you look at the total number of votes and you look at you could back out and figure out how many people who didn't vote for all three, because as you know, you could vote for up to three.
Right.
But we don't have any way of,
don't keep track.
figuring what percentage.
All you
it
could do
was.
would be to average it.
Do the average,
but
yeah, do
that's
the
not really
math.
going to answer your question.
That would be one time if we actually had real electronic tabulations that could be something that could be created to show that. I'm not sure if that electorate ever comes out in the public or not in other elections.
Well, we
It'd
just
be
get a
interesting to
gross
see.
number of who got how many votes, so it's real.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any way,
No.
and I don't know that you'd want to do that,
You would-
frankly.
You'd be
but,
starting to kind of pull back the veil of, onto
Yeah,
who's
on-
voting for what, as opposed to
Right,
just
right.
who voted, which are two very different items.
No, I'm with you. The end result is all that counts. But to be able to break that down would be interesting because we have the option of bullet voting in the town. And that's, I mean, we don't have an election. We won't have an election unless it's a special election that doesn't necessarily have the opportunity for bullet voting.
Right.
So, anyway, all right, well, if there's another 2 years, if there's different machines or some other electronica out there that can provide a little more data besides the most important data, that I'd be interested in doing that, but that'll be y'all's deal to deal with too. So we can figure that out. All right, very good. Anything else, Tom, Chuck?
No, I think that's it.
Wait, do we need to do anything else with these guys? Do we have to, no voting
Very
to certify,
dapper
nothing
tonight,
like
by the way. I
that?
just wanted to point out, everybody's looking very dapper tonight. Here over to unofficial.
Enjoy while you see it.
Thank you for that. Yeah, yeah. Well, you can see my makeup from back there? Awesome.
On
Just-
YouTube, you pick it up.
Okay, got it.
All right.
All right, you guys, thank you so much for that. Really appreciate that. I know my fellow commissioners, all of us, town staff, you guys, nobody does it better. We really appreciate it. So that's good stuff. And, congratulations to everybody on it. All right, so appreciation to outgoing commissioners. I'm opening up the floor to whoever wants to, if you have anything else to say to our fellow commissioners that are leaving, you're welcome to have something to say. I can gladly finish up because I've got a little bit more than just thank you. So-
I just want to say a big thank you to both of you. As someone who's new, I really appreciate all that I learned from both of you, and I appreciate the different perspectives you both brought, so thank you. for your
kind.
service.
Thank you.
It's been an honor to serve with you.
Yeah, very good. Anything on your
Yeah,
side?
definitely. I want to say thank you to both of you. I'll start with Martin, because when I was brand new trying to figure this whole thing out, and then we worked together on some projects, I really appreciate your work for what we did that we can't talk about in public, but I'll tell you in private. But I appreciate everything that you've done to help show me. And Jeff, I would definitely want to give you a second shout out for when we had to stand outside and give out direct traffic and work on making sure that Poolesville was able to get what we needed during the,
Pandemic.
yeah, all right.
Thank you, Ed.
Oh, no, I was letting the message play. But no, thank you very much for everything that you've done.
My pleasure.
Thanks, Ed.
Yep, absolutely, Jim.
So Ed apparently was looking over my shoulder. I'm going to stand up because you guys deserve that level of respect from me. So being,
Okay, thanks, Jim.
Thanks a lot, Sarah.
Yeah. He needs to be.
I don't want to record it, so I'm staying away from the mic. No, you guys, the two of you, just want to say on behalf of all of us, the people in the audience probably don't know the amount of turmoil that we had to overcome over a few-year time period. One of the worst time periods for commissioners, town management, et cetera. And we really came together as a group. We came from different places, for the most part, all of us do something different than everybody else. We have retirees, we have a school system. Sarah does her thing, me do what I do, Martin. So it's kind of unique and interesting that all of us come from different places, yet we all came together really in a difficult time period with a lack of leadership on some levels, turmoil in our town staff, continued turmoil at some times in our town staff too, a lot of transitioning needed, and a lot of everybody having to come together to wrap our heads around new ideas and a better way forward. And so to both of you guys, I really appreciate that. Ed, this all goes for you too. Even though I got you reelected, I still feel the same way and Sarah from the group perspective. I really appreciate it. It doesn't, if one of us didn't work, the rest of us couldn't work. So, and we do have to work together on a lot of stuff. We have to have trust, and we have to have honesty, and you guys were great at that. Jeff, you specifically, as you know, you were elected in November of 2020. This a little bit, it's just a hair tongue-in-cheek, and Jeff, you can go with it, and we can talk about it later. But in addition to keeping the commissioners and the residents informed of every single Poolesville-related event and happening.
And beyond.
And beyond, thank you, Martin. Jeff was a 4-year member of our Parks Board as our commissioner liaison, and then I've actually interviewed many members of the Parks Board, and they say they 100% enjoyed your service, your dedication to the details, and working with you directly. You knew your place as a commissioner liaison as well as an active member on the Parks Board. It's a balance that a lot of people don't get, and you pulled it off perfectly. I'd like to call Jeff our health commissioner. 2 of your biggest accomplishments over your 4-year time were establishing something that I've never seen come together, and I've been here for a little while, and that was our COVID kit distribution volunteer network. Out of nowhere, we had 70 people ready to distribute COVID kits, direct traffic, organize, secure space, take care of our residents from, a time that was really unsure for all of us. And you led all that, which was amazing. We were cited by the county executive and the county itself for the volunteer network was created. We were the model for the rest of Montgomery County, which doesn't surprise me with our citizens, but your leadership helped bring all that together. Pretty amazing. And also, too, you're not off the hook. We're going to count on you to mobilize the network again if we have to do something like that. So let's hope we don't for a pandemic, but let's, if we need it, we know we're going to count on you. In addition to being the health commissioner, you were provided the leadership that will save lives. Now, I'm not saying that we're not going to save lives in some way, shape, or form. I probably won't, but you did by forcing the county to run and the town to install the AEDs at Stevens Park. So one day or another, that's going to pay off for some poor citizen that is going to be really in need. And you're the one that did that. And I know that you're in the life-saving business as a firefighter, but to bring that to the town and have that be something that, again, no one's done it before. So you did it, we thank you for doing it, and our residents are going to thank you for doing that as time goes on. Finally, I want to say that you epitomize the saying to me, in my mind, your best ability is your availability. And I could always count on you delivering, to me, a bone-crushing handshake when we were at any kind of an event that we would have. And also, too, that the people that we went to these events with, which, we have to do a lot of networking, right? That's the worst part about this unpaid job, is that we have to go places, we have to do things, we have to meet people, we have to see people. And Jeff, you were always available, and you made your name known, and they knew what you stood for. They knew that you were also in the life-saving business, too. And that was a lot of cred, and it was a lot of cred for us, and you did that. And that was a big appreciation. So we all have niches, right? But your niche was one that really stood out with people in the county. I just want to say that, in the end, that the quality of what you did for us was amazing, and you'll be missed. And I hope you're not just going to go disappear off the face of the earth, that you'll find something else to do for the town and give us your talents. So let's hear it for Jeff, you guys.
Very kind, Jim, thank you.
You deserve it. And Martin. So Martin's a 2-term commissioner. That means he's been in this, sitting behind this desk for 8 years. And I don't want to sugarcoat. I'll get to the bad part first, and then we'll get to the good part second. He was part of what I would call the hangover of the first round of development next door. And the town was divided. And the town had some really, we haven't been divided like that in my time that I've been here. And it was a very difficult time for us. We followed the division right up through some bad leadership situations on this side of the desk, all the way around, and another time of turmoil inside the town. And I have to give you a lot of credit. For all the contributions that you made. One was smoothing out the turmoil. Another one was serving on a variety of different places so you got yourself known, so that you would be trusted like other commissioners are trusted. You were on the events committee. You were on the planning commission. You had a leadership position, despite being just a liaison where, a lot lot of liaison positions here. You guys are listening. We need to do as good as he did. The liaison positions are important. And they have to communicate to the rest of us, and they have to be able to communicate behind the desk, on the side, through text, everything like that. That's how we stay all in touch. I say that you brought peace to the process. And that's a big deal. We had a very divided town, and you brought peace to the process through your leadership. And that cannot be understated how important that is. The fruits of your labor are going to be born through as these developments get off the ground. And again, development's a tough call for a town. You know, 3/4 of the people don't want it until they want to be part of it. And the leadership that you gave and the calmingness that you gave will help bring those pieces to town. And again, I call that, we don't have a missing middle, right? You know, Poolesville's a small town. We have 6,400 whatever people. But we have a weird missing middle in what we need at this town. One is, we all recognize, and Martin recognizes it more than anybody else, we have jagged teeth development, where we have something on the road, then something off the road, then something on the road, like jagged teeth, right? Martin realized that the success of the two developments that we have coming up, one next door here at the Willards and one down there by behind CVS, are critical to the future of the town. I mean, we have a great town, we'll have a great town. But having the right infill and having those developments turn into something ultra special for our town, where seniors will now have a place to downsize to, and young people have a place where they can return to Poolesville, that's our missing middle. And I give you a lot of credit for understanding what that means and pushing the Planning Commission in the direction and pushing the creation of the comprehensive plan in that direction too. So, speaking about the comprehensive plan, we embarked on one this year, thanks to Martin and incoming Commissioner Brian Bupp. We embarked on a comprehensive plan that was unlike anyone we've ever done. So there was naysayers, one sitting right behind the desk here, and I came to realize that the right path forward for our comprehensive plan, our guiding document for the direction of the town in the future, had to be a fresh look. And that's not easy, because you could just template what we did before, and you could go off of that, and you'd have a perfectly good comprehensive plan, and 8 years later, we could look at it again, and who knows, maybe use the same template. But no, you guys embarked on something that was a lot more difficult than that. You said it yourself. You put more hours in as a planning commissioner, way more hours as a planning commissioner than you did as a commissioner during this time period. We get to sit behind here and make decisions, town staff what tells us what to do, we hear from the people. You know, we put a couple hours in and see in 2 weeks. You guys had to create a document. How many pages is it?
39. A lot.
Over 300 pages. Right. That is something that we're going to look at, and if there's somebody challenging us on something that we're doing at town government, we're going to flip through the pages of the comprehensive plan and say, look, that's what this group decided. Through surveys, through hard work, through input, through communications with our residents. You did that. You put that together. It's a heavy lift, and you guys did it. And Martin, your liaison leadership was pretty amazing. You also pushed for the creation of our assistant town manager. Niles, you can thank him later. And that was something that was weird. Here we had all this crazy turmoil going on in a leadership position. We had a town manager that was terrible. You know, the in-between of wait, not you. I said was, you're still here. It was terrible. We were juggling a lot of balls in the air between how we had to operate as a town. So you realized what we needed to do there, and I appreciate that. You also helped to push the commissioners. I'm not saying that we wouldn't have done it anyway, but you pushed the hardest, and you deserve that for the revised benefits package. That makes a lot of sense for our town. We went from being a town that lost people. We would train them. We would teach them how to be the great employees that they needed to be, and everybody wanted them. And then everybody hired them. So we've stopped the flow of that. We've got great people. We pay them a fair wage. Thank you, taxpayers, for your contribution on that and for pushing us in that direction. And then finally, I want to say to you personally, because we have more of a history than me and Jeff and I have, that I personally appreciate you allowing our past grievances and our differing of opinions, which we've had, to fade in the background as we as a board have gelled into a solid, I would call it well-run, high-functioning unit. Couldn't have done it without you and me getting on the same page. And we went through some wars together, and we have emerged out as friends. And we've done it for the betterment of the town. And for that, I really appreciate that. And you can just say that you can look out, and look beyond the audience, but look at what we've accomplished, and that's on your shoulders for being able to convert our relationship into something that really works for the town. So you could have done it without me, but it would have been harder. And we really did put it together. And that's going to be your legacy. You're going to be able to drive up and down this road and see what that legacy looks like. So,
Looks good.
yeah, so I appreciate that, and I appreciate you. That's all I got, guys. It was a little
you.
longer than yours,
Thank you,
I
Jim.
know, but I mean,
No, I
Figure that.
Can I say something?
so yes, you guys are both free to comment.
All right, can I go first because I have to run?
Oh, please.
All right. To my colleagues and residents, I just wrote something, so just bear with me. It should only take a couple minutes. I stepped down from my role as town commissioner. I want to take a moment to express my deep gratitude to all of you. Serving this community has been the honor of a lifetime, and I could not have done it without so much support, trust, and encouragement. I'm getting a little emotional up here. I came into this position almost by accident, as Jim alluded to. On the back of the Wilshire debacle, and I had almost no clue what I was doing for a while. I honestly didn't think I would win. When Wade called, I was like, is this a joke? Like, is this really Wade? But my priority was just to show up for everything and to listen and to learn, and it took me a while, but I kind of got up to speed, I think. So many helped me along the way. No one helped me more than Wade. Thank you for that. Always there. Even, in the recent meetings to pick your brain before the meetings and stuff, so that was great. To all the other commissioners I work with, past and present, Jerry, and everybody, thank you. I learned something from all of you. It was great. Special thank you to Jim. As Jim alluded to, we didn't always see eye to eye, especially in my first term, but he was always there to answer questions. Although we had our differences in the past 4 years, I feel like we've worked well together. Thank you, Jim.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for the kind words. Yep. There were tough times in my 8 years. Jim also alluded to that. But I feel like we accomplished a lot. I don't want to go through every single little thing, but some of the things that came to mind were pedestrian safety, allowing responsible chicken keeping. Jerry, you're welcome. Revised and Better Willard Project, the work of the Fair Access Committee, which you guys did great work. And
Thank you for your support.
Absolutely. The streetscape, the hiring of the assistant town manager, Niles, thank you. Improving parks and streets, upgraded water and sewer, PFAS mitigation, which you both have done a great job with and it's so important. The support of Poolesville Pride, revised benefits for the staff, and writing a comprehensive plan were just a few things that came to mind. And special thanks to Brian and to the Planning Commission. That was a lot of freaking work. Mm-hmm. And we're all proud of that document, so thanks, guys. Mm-hmm. And while I'm stepping away from my commissioner duties, I'll always remain committed to the values and goals of the town. I'm confident that what we built will continue to strengthen and serve the community for years to come. Thank you for the opportunity to serve and the trust the residents placed in me, and as well as you guys. Special thanks to Wade and Niles. I mean, you guys, you keep the trains running. You're amazing. You lay it all out there. All we have to do is a little bit of homework and make decisions. So you guys are a pleasure to work with. Can't say that about all the town managers, but you guys are great. Town staff is just amazing. For anybody that doesn't, it probably goes without saying, but the commissioner's job is as easy or as hard as town staff makes it. I mean, if the roads are clean, the parks are clean, the trains are running on time, you're a great commissioner, and if they're not, you suck. So thank you for helping me not suck.
Making us look good.
Thanks to the Planning Commission, and thanks to all the boards and volunteers. I mean, Poolesville, as we all know, could not run without all these boards. I mean, a lot of the residents probably don't even understand how many boards there are. Chuck Stump here, great Planning Commissioner, Board of Elections, thank you. And there's just so many. There's the Sustainable Poolesville. There's the parks. There's I won't go into all of them, but it takes a lot of volunteers. One guy that's not here tonight that deserves a lot of thanks from me and probably the whole town is Link. Link does a great job. This guy here, Jeff, thanks for your service. Sorry you didn't get reelected, but I know you'll continue to do great things. I'm sure there's people I missed, and you know who you are, and I appreciate you. And the biggest shout out goes to Abby and Maisie.
Yes.
Who let me be here. Abby put Maisie to bed and took care of things, and for 8 years. So
Good. You can play catch up on that now a little bit.
Yep.
That's good. That was nice of you.
and if there was a mic here to drop, I would drop it. So thank you, everybody. I appreciate you indulging me.
Yeah. Well, it's been our pleasure. Thank you for that too, you guys. I really appreciate that. And we know what it's like to have spouses that have to, deal with, well, you guys will find out, but you're not home. So, thank you for that, Martin. That was really nice.
Yeah, thank you.
Really nice.
Thanks to all of you.
Yeah, Jeff, are you got something for us, or are you going to leave it like that?
I'm not anywhere near as.
One last long-ass report.
As Martin. I never was happy with that 200 square feet, but, if I had any guidance or any advice for the incoming commissioners, it's take care of the town staff. Because as Martin said, we get the credit for what they do. And Preston will be out there plowing the snow, and everybody will say the streets are clean, the trees are taken care of, the parks look beautiful, the water bills are accurate, and everything, and always be willing to take the blame and always give the credit to the town staff. That's just, I think that's kind of the way it goes. And so really kudos to everyone on the town staff. I know I'm not going to remember everybody's name, so I apologize for that, but really that's my best advice to the incoming commissioners. And I really thank the commissioners that I've worked with over the last 4 years. I think we have gelled. There was some bumpiness at the beginning. We were able to smooth that out with everybody's help, and I think we were able to accomplish quite a bit. So I can't think of anybody else to thank. Just thanks everybody behind the desk and the folks who will be seated behind the desk in a few minutes.
I missed the
welcome.
last two lines of
Thank
my
you.
thing, too. I wanted to thank
Thanks,
you, all of you to work with you, and I also wanted to congratulate you two, and you, Ed, on your reelection. So Alan, Brian, congratulations. Best of luck to you guys. I know you'll do great.
Yeah, thank you for that. Jeff, thank you for your words, too. We appreciate it, and we appreciate both your service.
My pleasure.
We have something for you, of course. You can call it a parting gift if you want, but it is part of your parting, and you've earned it. So we have two flags that we give to our departing members. And
Outgoing, is that departing seems kind of.
Especially folded in a tray.
yeah, right. If you could lay this
Someone
on
going
your
to play
chest,
taps right now?
please lay down on the desk and let me put that there for you. You guys come on around. Let's take a picture of these guys. You have a nameplate that's coming, but they didn't arrive in time for these. So, there's a short turnaround between election and next go round. So we'll let you know when they're in, and then we'll go from there. We can stand in front of the desk.
And you can take the nameplates in front of you also, in front of the dais.
Grab your name, is on the front.
Okay.
Martin, we're trying to get you out for your concert.
I know.
Just the iPhone for this.
Let's do, you get in the middle. Yeah, Martin, there you go. That's good. So, you guys know? Wait, good son.
All right. Ready? 1, 2, 3. I'm going to take one more. 1, 2, 3. There we go.
Everybody stop. Just look at, wait, do you see your camera in?
Yes, ready.
Sit right here and just look over there. Stay in the same position.
Give me a funny face.
That's all I got.
That was pretty funny. Thank you.
Congratulations, guys. Congratulations, guys.
Thank you very much. So I'm just to leave this until the name?
It's all yours.
No, this is, you can leave it if you want until it comes in, or take it and we'll let you know when it's gonna be here.
I'll just stay.
No, now's good times any. Things get damage if they stick right here. See you later. It's like, if I got like rip your name or whatever it was.
All right.
Mr. Strong.
Thank you, guys.
Good luck, you guys.
Of course. Thank you. All right, guys, now on to, we've settled our scores and taken care of the past, and now we move to the future. And that's kind of a special time in Poolesville when we get to bring in new life to our commissioner board. For many, many years, the commissioner board's kind of stayed the same with one or two people that would come on, but these are some pretty whole-scale changes we've had over the last couple of years. But it's really not, because we've got people, familiar faces, and people that we know are going to be great teammates that are coming on board. So we're very thankful for that. So we're going to have a swearing-in ceremony, and everybody's welcome to get wherever you need to go to take pictures. And Wade will commence that, and then we'll sit behind the desk and kind of get you guys going. So. Ed, you don't. Just sit behind the desk. Yeah. Yeah, I think we just get off to the side. I don't think we're there.
Okay, raise your right hand, repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Brian Page,
Do swear and affirm
do swear and affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
and that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the state of Maryland
that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the state of Maryland,
and support the Constitution and laws thereof,
and to support the Constitution and laws thereof,
and that I will, to the best of my skills and judgment,
that I will, to the best of my skills and judgment,
diligently and faithfully,
diligently and faithfully,
without partiality or prejudice,
without partiality or prejudice,
execute the office of Commissioner of Poolesville,
execute the office of Commissioner of Poolesville
according to the Constitution and laws of the state.
according to the Constitution and laws of the state.
Congratulations.
All right. Congratulations. You got some documents to sign, guys, and we'll find the desk.
You know, pick you about my ink pen.
Okay, there you go. You?
Gonna bring all your traps all
Well, probably not. They're probably gonna leave as soon as. They're not gonna stay for any of the fun stuff.
They're gonna miss the best part, right?
Right.
Your first vote.
There you are.
So our. So does this mean that all meetings are now catered by the grill team? We need to know. No. Who said no right off the bat? Was that you? All right, Travis, keep going. All right, good. I like that. Thank you for that.
Hey, y'all take it
You
easy,
guys, good seeing everybody. Thank you for coming up for it. Good seeing you. Good seeing you. Good seeing you. Good seeing you. Michael. Good seeing you, Mike.
All right.
Mike. Neighbors. See you guys. Neighbors. All right. Well, there we go. We don't have the nameplates for these guys yet?
Not yet.
Take care.
They were in the same shipment.
Okay, got it. All right.
All right.
That's good. Thanks. See ya. We talking to me? All right, you guys. That was a great ceremony and a lot of fun, and welcome aboard, and glad you're behind the table with us.
Thank you. Me too.
Yeah, thank you. It's good to have you, and you deserve it, and of course, you re-deserve it. So thank you for that, Ed. I don't mean to give you second shift on any of this.
It's all good, man. It's rolling.
Okay, good. I want to make sure we're on the same page. Yeah, now he wants to speed it up. All right, let's keep it going. All right, no, I get that. All right, so we've had the swearing in. Is there anything else official we need from these guys? They are full-blown commissioners right now. Okay, good to hear. Yeah. All right, so we get started. First order of business is that we have to decide who our officers are going to be. And it's an open process. We can say, you can nominate whoever you want to nominate, then there has to be a second, we can have discussion, and then we can move forward with the, with votes. In the past, there was one time where I declared I didn't want to be president again, and damn if I wasn't president after that. So I'm not saying that right now. I would like to be president again if someone would like to nominate me for it.
I'll nominate you. I nominate Jim Brown to be president of the commissioners.
Thank you for that. And do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second.
Tied for second.
That's okay.
Yeah,
You can have it. It's your first second.
Yeah, your first vote,
I know,
right.
I wanted to
Yeah.
jump in.
Yeah, that's good. That's fine. Martin was very quick on the seconds. You're sitting in the second chair.
He was quick on the motion.
Yeah, motions. He was quick on the motion. He was trying to speed it up. Okay, we have a motion and a second. We're open to entertaining any other offers to sit in the seat. Nope. Okay, all those in favor of re-electing me as the president of the Poolesville Town Commissioners, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None? Thank you, guys. It's good to be back.
You're doing a great job.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. I appreciate that. I'm just keeping the seat warm now at this point, so somebody's gonna have to step up in a couple of years.
Can I nominate Ed Reed for vice president?
That's next up, yes. So we have a nomination from Brian to have Ed be our vice president. Do we have a second for that?
I'll take a second.
Alan, on his first vote, takes the second. All right, so we have a motion by Brian, a second by Alan, to name Ed as our vice president. Do we have any other questions on that? Are there any discussion? Any other nominations? None? All those in favor of naming Ed as our vice president, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None? Ed, welcome back again.
Thank you.
Congratulations, and it's been great serving with you, and we're looking forward to more of it. I appreciate that. And I think that way about Sarah all the time, so that's not just at election time. Thank you. And I do want to say that during the swearing-in ceremony, the word execution and commissioners is too close to itself.
It was going through my mind that I was.
Okay, I knew it did. I saw the smile come on your face.
That is, though, the wording by the state of
It
Maryland.
is a word by the state of Maryland that has to be read out. Too close, too close. That's too much of a coincidence, too. All right, very good. So we've elected our officers, we've sworn in our new guys. Appreciate you guys for being here. It's the last time we have to wear suits for anything.
2 more
So-
years, right?
Right, for 2 more years, unless we have something special go on.
4 years.
Yeah, 4 for you guys. Oh, I don't know, maybe the next president will decide
Oh, yeah.
that.
Well, we get a picture.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's true, yeah. All right, so we're good there, you guys. We've even got the suits figured out. We have our appointments to boards and commissions. Now, I've had an informal poll amongst all the commissioners that are coming through so far, and it looks like on this side of the table, we want to stay status quo with shared duties on the Fair Access Committee, Ed on Sustainable Poolesville, correct? And Sarah, are you on any other committees, or is Fair Access it?
Yeah.
On this, it's plenty, but yes, okay, good. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't missing something. And then, Brian, we've talked about you staying on the Planning Commission as the liaison, and Ed, we've talked about you joining the Parks Board.
You look like a good Ed, Alan.
Alan, sorry,
you look
Alan.
good.
I was thinking about you. Alan, we have you set up to be on the Parks Board.
Great.
Okay, good. So, and all these, we don't have to have an actual official election on that, do we?
Yes, you do, because it's an appointment by the president of the commissioners with the.
Acquiesce of the
acknowledgement
board?
at least 2 other commissioners. So just take a vote of all of them as you've just stated them, and that'll be
With correct names.
with the correct.
Yeah, right, gotcha. So.
The minutes will always reflect the truth.
Thank you for that. I appreciate that. The minutes have always been favorable. So we've nominated our slate of liaison positions, which includes Alan on the Parks Board, Brian on the Planning Commission, Ed on Sustainable Poolesville and the Fair Access Committee, Sarah on the Fair Access Committee. And do I have a motion for that? We'll vote on it. We can't hurt to vote. Someone want to make a motion?
I motion that we approve all positions on boards as
Stated.
stated
Yeah,
by
good.
President Jim Brown.
Yep, good. We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Brian. Okay, any other discussions? Nope. All those in favor of those board appointments by the president, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? None? All right, guys, we're in business. We've taken care of some good stuff here. All right, thank you for that, everybody. And so, as you guys know, as you've been paying attention to it, you'll be expected to attend your various committee meetings and then providing reports to the commissioners. Now, the reports to the commissioners, again, Jeff gave us a lot, but you can definitely try to stick your testimony to the board that you're on. And if there's something else that you feel like you need to talk about, you can also bring that up. We consolidated our commissioner reports and our committee reports. So you can do a commissioner report and also do your committee report at the same time. So just letting you know that we tried to do that to save a little bit of time, and everybody was bouncing around. Plus, I was getting confused. So, all right, very good, guys. Thank you, and ladies, thank you for everything here. Public comment time of the meeting. We have one person signed up. It's Jerry Klobakowski. Jerry, come on up.
Jerry Klobakowski, 17300 Fletchall Road, Poolesville, Maryland. I'd like to congratulate the new commissioners, Alan and Brian, for stepping up and volunteering your time in the service of the citizens of Poolesville, and thank the outgoing commissioners, Martin and Jeff, for what they have done in the past years, serving and sitting where you are. I do have a couple things. I think it was either the 7th of October or the 21st of October, there was a discussion about the emergency management plan, Montgomery County Emergency Management Plan, which listed all the municipalities, and I think the two taxing districts in Montgomery County in it. However, when you went to read it, even on a 17-inch laptop screen, it was mind-boggling. It was basically going to make you go blind. And I was wondering, did we ever screen out those areas that were strictly related to Poolesville?
Yeah.
And I'd like to see a copy of it.
So what I did, I created a summary of the things related to Poolesville.
Okay.
So I can share that with you.
All right.
But the document as presented was how the county
Yeah, I understand.
compiled it.
I understand.
So I didn't mess with the document itself, but I can provide you what is specifically related to Poolesville.
Okay, I appreciate that. Okay, and next thing is, it's no secret that the state is suffering a budget deficit from where they had $1 billion when Governor Hogan left to now over $1 billion shortfall. And that, by all accounts, that budget deficit could grow to $5 billion by 2030. And I have heard that the state has been speaking with municipalities throughout the state on reductions in support for those municipalities, like in the area of highway user revenue. And so I was wondering if this is true. If so, what areas and how much? And will the town stand to lose in each of those areas?
Highway user funds probably will lose some. There's projections that have been released. They are slightly lower, but the real projections have not been released exactly what they're going to be yet. So it's unknown, but we anticipate some decrease.
Okay. And then also, by the way, County Executive Elrich has said that he is concerned over possible reduction in tax receipts, which could impact county municipalities, which also could be due to when the new incoming administration comes in about moving or government agencies or offices out of D.C. or just eliminating positions. And again, I was wondering if the county executive had talked about possible reductions in county funds coming to Poolesville, like tax duplication funds.
Not yet. It's kind of soon for them to release anything.
Okay. Because I know he was always sent, I think it was Montgomery County 360. He was mentioning that something about tax increases. And I think Governor Wes Moore has done the same.
Well, I think that's coming for sure, but I will tell you this, I had a conversation with Mark Elrich directly on it, and he has as you know, he became term limited the last election, and he's announced that he's going to run for county council again in an at-large position. So his race starts now for 2 years from now. But he basically, I'm not sure, the question is whether his plan, which was to go through the state to create an entire new taxing structure that you probably know about, is now neutered because he's not going to be able to stay on as county executive. And that really was one of the ways, I can't say I agreed with it, it made for some really difficult choices for the commercial sector and growth and everything going on down county, but it's going to be interesting to see what happens with that. We don't know. And it said that was one way to dig out of the hole. and it was not going to be painless, but it was a one way to do it. That's probably done now. So
Okay.
it's going to be back to taxing their way out of the hole probably.
Okay.
We'd love them. I personally would love for them, and I'm going to speak to every single elected official that we talk to about ways to reduce spending that makes sense, because we still feel like, as you guys, and I think the people behind the desk know this too, we feel like we're still behind. They still owe us, and we need to still collect. And we don't want to make it sound like it's somebody else's problem, but it is somebody else's problem. It's the people that have been getting money for a long time that are now basically considered to be entitlements. That's how we lost our seniors funding through their screwy grant process that they have now recognized. In case, I don't know if you guys see the column today on that. Yeah, so I'll start staring. We have Adam Pagnuccio writes a column, and it talked very specifically about the grants program that basically said that our seniors weren't going to get the grants that they need in order to hire the people that run it. So we're going to see more of that as time is going to go on. But I still think that we have to fight the battle. Like, we feel terrible, and we know there's a huge deficit. And I share with you, Jerry, that it's hard to imagine that we have a projected $5 billion deficit coming up by 2030, where they were $1 billion in the plus. It almost doesn't matter to me who the governor is. How did that happen? And we know how some of it happened because of federal spending, and that dried up. But did Maryland all of a sudden create a bazillion projects that now they have to fund, that they started funding when they got all the Fed money?
The effects of the pandemic run long.
Yeah. So that almost looks like mismanagement to me, but it's easy for us to say. We have a small budget and they got a big budget. So
Okay. Well, Spiro Agnew, Spirit of Spiro Agnew probably is.
I remember who that is.
Yeah.
I might be the only one.
Okay.
I remember.
Okay.
Okay, but there's two things for the new commissioners. This was mentioned earlier about what we owe the town staff. Treat them well. Those guys, they go off and you don't have to tell them to do anything. They just take care of it. Water main breaks or whatever, parks need to be taken, ball diamonds need to have dust put on them. They do it all. And so take care of them. And then the second thing is, the revenue this town receives is not your money. It's not your individual commissioner money. And we have a lot of people coming to the town, as Jim sort of alluded to, that some people, what I'm trying to say is, believe that the town is a source of last resort, that we're a charity who give out our money. And just because, you say, well, Jerry's the only one who's objecting. No, there's a lot of people are objecting to the way some of this money goes out. So I would be and especially in light of what possible may come next year with respect to reduction in funds to the town from the state and the county, and also if tax increases come about, whether it's state and federal or just state. I mean, we're here and we watch what you guys do with our money, and we would appreciate it you use it judiciously. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our amount of YouTube viewers just went up 20% due to your commentary. Thank you. People are tuning in. I am serious. I got a bunch of texts. So good job. You're doing your job, Jerry. Thank you for that. Any other? I know I got to go back on the thing. That's what you're giving me that look for. I got it. So we have our committee reports and our commissioner announcements that I alluded to earlier. I'm not sure if you guys have anything to say, but you can sit there and say thank you if you want to, or glad to be here or whatever, but you're welcome to do that.
I got stuff to say.
Okay, good.
There's a mic in front of me. I'll
All right, that's good. I'll come back to you guys on our
Go for it.
reports. Yes, go ahead, sir.
You want to go first, Al? Do you have anything to say?
I'm going to let you know, I do move it around, so it's always a surprise who gets picked first.
Okay, sorry.
So, yeah, so no, good. Alan, you.
Well, I'll start. I want to thank everybody for their support, their guidance. It was a process. Ed and I discussed a lot, Jim, but you got my full support. I'm here for the community. I'm here for commitment, and I'm passionate, and I'm here to work with everybody. I'm full support. I've run a lot of staff myself over the years in business, and they are the cog that makes the wheel turn. And I am looking forward to, I know most of them, but I'm sure I don't know everybody, but I'm looking forward to forging relationships, working with my fellow commissioners for the next 4 years, at least 2 years. But, I got a lot to learn from you guys, and I'm anxious, and I'm passionate, and I'm ready to take Poolesville and continue the comprehensive plan and make everything just go as smooth as possible. So,
Good. We welcome that, and we thank you. And we realize your passion and recognize it from the way you ran your race.
Yep.
And you know, we can tell you go full bore on everything, and that's a good thing. So thank you for that. Brian?
I had some more business-related stuff I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
Thanks for mentioning that. But yeah, obviously, yeah, I'm excited. Alan actually makes me even more excited every time he starts talking about it, right?
Yeah.
And I think we've got a lot of good stuff ahead of us. I'm really excited about being able to play both sides of this planning commission now, being on the planning commission as liaison, and be able to help try and get it executed here on the commissioner level. And again, I don't know if I've said it enough to you guys, but you guys are incredible, and everybody we've ever run into in town staff has been the same way. You guys, obviously goes from the top down, and it just can't be thankful enough. On to business. The last planning commission meeting, since I'm the liaison now, I can tell you what happened.
That's right.
Nice.
Your report.
Yeah, we had two things I wanted to touch on. We had a really good follow-up conversation on the Cultural Arts District, talking about the changes to the usage chart that we may propose. And I think we got pretty far along with that. It's pretty thorough on that front. And then a pretty good follow-up discussion on signage also for the Cultural Arts District. So I think we've got some things kind of pending that we'll be talking about when we come up here. And the other thing we discussed, I don't know if it's been mentioned at the commissioner meeting yet, but the success of the Willards and Cliffords with Montgomery County getting their impact fees, not just their impact fees, but they basically said that the county now, any homes that are
Under 1,800 square feet with a detached garage gets a 50%, almost a 50% reduction in their fees. And any house under 2,200 square feet that has an attached garage will have their impact fees reduced as well.
I wanted Jeff Beck to hear that 2,200 square feet.
You can watch video.
They watch it, right?
That's great news.
Right, new home construction only.
New home construction.
Yeah, new construction, yeah.
Okay.
But that's a big win for them, yeah, and big win from the county too, I think, especially in face of such a budget deficit, right? I mean,
Right.
it's pretty amazing that got through, so
Oh, they'll find it somewhere.
that's it.
Okay, good. And just to further that, you guys know that the part of that was that we showed them to do that. We put our neck out on the line and told the county, we will do this if you will do this. And that put pressure on them in a way that they're not kind of used to, but look what it did. It opened up the doors to something, a whole new way of looking at it.
Fantastic.
So yeah, it worked out for all of us, and it works out best for us. So thank you for that. Appreciate it. Ed, or you want to?
Sure. All right, so we'll come back to fair access, and I'll chime in with you.
Yeah.
But in terms of Sustainable Poolesville, so we did win an award at the last MML meeting. So we are, just like you see up here, the Sustainable Sustainable Maryland Town of Poolesville. So we got the bronze award. So we were just a few points shy of getting the silver award. And so we'll keep working hard. But what I really want to do is acknowledge everyone who worked on putting together the packet. And so that took a lot of work. And a lot of times there are people that you never see who are working very hard behind the scenes to do the things from a sustainability standpoint, from working with the planning commission on the comprehensive plan, where I know Danny and Don put a lot of work in to make sure that that part was included. I love the way that everyone worked together. And so all these things matter. And once again, one of the strengths of Poolesville is everyone who volunteers to make Poolesville a great place to live and work. And so that's what's happening with Sustainable Poolesville. We will not have a November meeting. And so our next meeting, although it's scheduled for Christmas, and that's not going to happen. And so we're planning on meeting the Wednesday before, which is December 18th. So that's the discussion is taking place right now. Don will let you know if we're going to move forward with that. And
Thank
then
you.
I'll leave fair access with Sarah, and I'll chime in as needed.
Please do.
Great. So we are on the county level, we're in the middle of sort of budget battles, hearings as we get close to the end of the year. The county executive's budget needs to be finalized by January 15th, I believe. And so we met last Friday with Marilyn Balcom, and it was Fair Access Committee plus our partners at WUMCO. And we went over our priorities right now. So we talked about the community center. We talked about both the capital budget and the operating budget for the community center, including the clinic space. We talked with Marilyn about some extra support that WUMCO is needing and came up with some plans that we're following up on, as well as, let's see, what else did we talk about in that conversation? All right, well, you can fill in if there's anything else that I'm missing. But, and then last Saturday, Link did a small report in front of the Up-County Citizens Advisory Board, letting them know what fair access was up to, what our priorities are right now. And that's all part of a larger effort. One of the things that we've noticed is that the western part of the county has very limited representation on many of the county-wide boards, and so our needs and perspectives aren't represented. So one of our Fair Access Committee members, Nancy Kidd, put together this fantastic overview of all of the different county-wide boards, and we are going to be strategically looking at that and looking for spots to fill and trying to identify both residents of Poolesville and the broader county or western part of the county, the Ag Reserve, so that we can strategically have more consistent representation on all of these boards.
Can I just say that
Yeah.
when Lincoln was given that presentation, he pointed
Yes.
out that none of them that he was presenting to were from the Western County.
Right, right. We used to have a board member. I think we just lost her.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So that's a great example
Yep.
of what we're talking about. So, okay. And then we also just sent a follow-up letter and set up a meeting with Gabe Albornoz to discuss some of the WUMCO issues that we were just talking about with Marilyn. I believe Gabe's over health and human services.
He has a background in that.
Right. We've also drafted a muster email to have residents of Poolesville and the broader, again, Ag Reserve. We've drafted it as a template, and folks can adjust it if they want, but as we get to the near end of this budget process, county council members are going to be making those final cuts, and we want to make sure that our priorities stay top and center on everybody's mind. So we're kind of doing that final push, organizing and push. We've had great success with that in the past, with the high school, with the community center, so we'll just keep organizing. We also, as a sort of celebration as we near the end of this year, and as a way to thank all of our county representatives and state representatives for all the ways in which they have served our needs here in Poolesville, have a Christmas holiday event at Locals on December 5th. So that's coming up as well, and we've had lots of RSVPs. We expect that we'll have good attendance. We have had in the past as well. And then finally, I think the last thing on my list was that we have been providing some feedback on a proposal that's going before the county council to request an Ag Reserve economic study. And so we'll be getting some follow-up on that as well.
What I would
What have I
just,
missed?
sure, what I'd plug in is that when we talk with Marilyn, and Jim, you could jump in, as we go through this as well, but we talked about making sure that we're ready for the community center, if it got moved up, that we're ready as partners, and I think it's one of the things you often hear Jim talk about, is that we come in as a partner ready, so as soon as something's approved, we got a spot where we could come in and get moving right along on the project. Marilyn did mention how some projects get delayed, not because of the county, but because they're partner in that project. And so we need to make sure we're paying close attention to what's getting moved on the list because someone's not ready. Well, we can step in and say, hey, we're ready to take on that, so you can bump us up, put us in. So I think that's really important to continue to watch that. I think some of the other things we talked about at our meeting was we talked about the roads, and we talked about about the, I want to say it's the Jerusalem over there in that area. And so it's still going to be an ongoing fight, as you guys know, but we're continuing to put that on the radar. Let's see here. Some of the other things that's happening is that this Friday, so there is a committee for Montgomery County. They have a huge legislative breakfast Friday morning. And so I know a number of us.
Thursday morning?
Friday, the 22nd.
Oh.
Check and see. Link. Well, there'll be representation from
Yeah,
Fair
no,
Access
I'm-
Committee.
I'm going.
I think you're going,
I thought it was Thursday.
Derek's going, I'm going. I've talked to you, right? You
Oh,
be
yeah.
out of town, you're
Friday
gonna
at
see if you
7
can make
a.m.
it. But that's a good opportunity where Poolesville, we need to just, regardless of the legislative plan, we make a point to show up to people who are making decisions that affect us. And that's when we go in, make sure that we have a strong presence, we go through and network. And then with the December 5th holiday party, talking to Link, I think we have at least 6 county council members who plan to attend. And then Link should be sending you the two of you, a RSVP invitation. So you should get that in the next, if you haven't already gotten it, you should get that right away. So I think that would cover it for Fair Access. And we meet this Thursday.
And so this, I usually just kind of fill in the blanks for whatever is going on. So good reports, guys. Thank you for that. A couple more Fair Access items that we're going to be, so we didn't have, we've got to do a little bit better job of communicating with the 2 commissioners that, I'm not officially on Fair Access because we can only have 2 commissioners on it, but, I still play a little bit of a role there. And then, but we got to make sure that you guys stay informed so you're not on the outs of all this communications that go on Fair Access. Because in reality, all of us are, doing the job for Fair Access. And you've got your own committees to take care of it in addition to being really the surrogates for Fair Access as well. So we're going to make sure that you stay in the communication chain with everything. I tend to let the committee do their thing. Like Link and I operate on a different level. So, and we let the committee do their work, and you guys are supposed to be doing what you're supposed to do and for your work. But we'll keep you in the loop because we want you at all the events. Your job is going to become well-known. Like Ed says, the breakfast, I think, starts at
7 a.m.
7.
It's early.
We're usually there 6:45, and there's already packed at 6:45. So if you can make it, it doesn't have to be this year, but it's your intro and to get to know everybody. And if I was going, sorry, you guys, I'll probably still have a Mai Tai in my hand or on my breath at that hour. But we're going to, but we would still get to know all these people better. And I know that these guys will help be part of introducing you and getting to know, because that really is going to be one of your jobs, is to be as well-known. I said in my thing, Jeff did a pretty damn good job of it, too. A lot of people knew he was. And he crushed hands across Rockville and actually got to make himself well-known while he did it. So that was, you'll get into the groove of that, and we'll make sure you stay in the communication line on Fair Access, because we're really all a part of it. The December 5th thing is definitely going to be a lot of fun. That's a great event at Locals. They'll all be there. We'll make sure you get introduced, and you're going to be getting to know all the council members, elected officials, our delegation, the people that work for the county executive's office, which are very influential, play a role in everything that we do. So that's a must go to as far as I'm concerned, is the December 5th Locals for everybody. We have Canal Town. It's so Link and I kind of pay attention to that and work with John Woles on it, who is our liaison for Canal Towns. He does a great job. And Ed too, right? Ed sees all the emails.
Yeah.
So we all take turns in trying to make sure that John knows he's supported. They're going to have a meeting on December 11th at the Bavarian Inn. You don't have to go to it. I'm going to go because I want to go to the Bavarian Inn. And then they're going to be coming to Poolesville for us. I'm not sure anybody, do we tell you that yet?
Yeah, I saw the email.
Okay, good. So we're on January 8th, they're going to be here in Poolesville. I'll be giving a presentation, I'm sure, at the time to kind of refresh them on everything that we have going on here. Town staff, you're going to talk about the pool bubble meeting a little bit?
Yeah.
There?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
He's got the Parks Board report
And the
also.
Parks Board as well.
Okay, well, again, and then I have Jeff's other announcements too, so you can do the Parks Board ones in just a minute.
Did he leave you the
Yeah,
list?
you did. You left me the list. But it was a short list. But again, you're going to talk about pool bubble when it comes time out of your time period.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. So last but not least for Jeff, he'd want to make sure that everybody knows that WUMCO is doing a toy drive, 30 locations. Watch Facebook for all the information for locations and dates. Thank you, Jeff, for caring. That's our man. I also wanted to recognize that he has the Santa breakfast at the fire department on Saturday, December 7th, 8 a.m. to noon, and that's a must-do for many people if you have little kids.
Hey, Jim, while you're saying that, this, for those who might be watching the recording who have kids who need student service learning hours, I believe that they're looking for students to volunteer at that breakfast. And so you can reach out to the volunteer fire department who's organizing that for those of you who have
Great.
children who need SSL hours.
Awesome. Yeah, very good. And I'm sure there's some I forget, but town staff will pick me up on that, so we're good to go there. Any other committee reports, any other commentary for the commissioners?
Yeah, just quick commentary.
Sure.
So I want to officially welcome you two to the commissioners, and beyond your passion and excitement, I'm really looking forward to the contribution of your skill sets. And so I think we're going to have a great, ride. And so once again, I'm looking forward to what you guys bringing to the table. And then and I'll speak for the three of us. We're all here. We have a great working relationship. And so, ask questions if you have questions.
I will.
Ask them, right? And we'll all respect confidentiality, and there's no question that's a bad question. The only bad question is the one that you didn't ask. And so we're here as a team to move the place forward. So welcome.
And one thing I wanted to add real quick is, going through all the meetings and listening to all the commentary, I'm a firm believer in being proactive and not reactive on a lot of it. And even over the last month of talking with everybody, I know we're in good hands, but I am that kind of character. I like to be a few years ahead, and forge relationships. I do have some of my business of cross paths with the council members, so I know some of them already. But I'm looking forward to, on a different level, now being a commissioner to Poolesville, to forge that relationship, and everybody can work along together. So
It's going to be as good as you make it.
It is.
And that's the cool part of it. So it really is. It's going to be as good as you make it, which we know you're going to make it great. All right, so that's it for committee reports, commissioner announcements. We already done public comment. Approval of the minutes, there's only 3 of us that are going to vote on that one. So we've had the minutes, they've been presented to us.
A motion that we approve the minutes from the October 21st meeting.
Second.
So Ed's made a motion to approve the minutes on the meeting, the most recent meeting. Sarah's had a second. Any questions from the two of you on that? I don't have any. Okay, all those in favor, please say, of the minutes approval, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None? Abstain? Abstain? Good. 2 abstentions. Okay, good. Right. You couldn't vote anyway, so you're good. That'll be your last one.
That was like a trick question.
Yeah, that's going to be your last one, yeah. New business, proclamation for Small Business Saturday. I put a little something on Facebook about this today, about the group that approached us about Small Business Saturday. And of course, Tom Kettler is here from the Poolesville Area Chamber of Commerce. And together, the town staff, myself, Tom, have put together this proclamation that we're going to be talking about tonight. So Tom, if you want to come up and do a presentation. Am I missing something, staff? You guys are talking.
Oh, no, we're going to do a news flash on this tomorrow also.
Okay, very good. Yes. Okay, good. Thank you. Yeah, Tom, thank you.
Tom Kettler, 17917 Elgin Road, also president of Poolesville Area Chamber of Commerce. As you all, and this is an event that's been going on for, I don't know, I think 10 or 11 years now. It's a nationwide event, which is the last Saturday in November, 2 days after Thanksgiving. It's a shop local day, and it's just a way to emphasize when everybody's getting ready to go out and do their holiday shopping that it's important to support the local community and local shops. So obviously Poolesville has a lot of local shops, and I'm one of 10 members on my board of directors, and my board reminds me that the retail shops that we all know about, but there's also services that our chamber members provide. We're represent now, as we finish up 2024, the chamber has 164 members, which always kind of astounds me at the number of businesses that are around town. But you have larger businesses, smaller business, home-based businesses, they're all, that to me, and I'm passionate about the chamber because I believe that part of what makes this town such a special place are the businesses in the town, the services that people provide. And again, you can have retail stores, you can have services, we have landscapers, we have real estate agents, we have, all sizes and shapes of people who provide services to the town. And that's what makes, this, we feel very strongly that's what makes the town, part of what makes it a special place. So with that, we understand you all are going to do a proclamation, which we certainly appreciate. I'm actually going to be at Montgomery County Council offices tomorrow at 1 o'clock because the council is also doing a countywide proclamation in support of the Shop Local Saturday. We always, and obviously that's the day that we emphasize shopping, but we also encourage people to shop local 365 days a year because with that, we can support our local businesses and keep them all here and keep them in business. A lot of them, as we all know, we see businesses come and go from town. Some make it, some don't, but we want everybody to succeed as best they can. So with that, we appreciate your willingness to sort the shop local Saturday at the end of the month. So with that, I'll entertain any questions you might have. But
No, Tom, I appreciate that and appreciate the Chamber of Commerce's support as well. And we look forward to, hopefully, our businesses, you're going to alert them to be open and be available and do the things they need to do because hopefully we'll drive some business their way.
Yeah.
I put a bunch of stats out on Facebook today. You guys might have seen it where it just talks about how impactful Small Business Saturday is. It's pretty amazing how it does draw people and it does push business, and it also helps people recognize businesses they may have never seen before or considered before. So it's pretty cool that way. So we have a proclamation has the proclamation been circulated to all the commissioners?
Yes.
Okay, everybody's seen it on email, copy of it. Do I need to read it word for word?
You don't have to.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. So we have a proclamation in front of us that was pretty much ghost-written through this organization that comes up with it. We adapted to make it our own. It talks about, all the good stats that I just mentioned and the advocacy groups that are all in support of it. And so if we guys would, this is probably going to be the lightest lifting proclamation we'll ever do. So without any controversy for it, if someone wants to make a motion to approve this proclamation for support of Small Business Saturday, I would appreciate it. Anybody? We need a motion.
I'd like to take a motion.
Okay, good.
I was like, this is an easy one, you can do it.
Right, Alan has made a motion to support the proclamation for the town of Poolesville Commissioners to issue a proclamation on behalf of Small Business Saturday. Do we have a second?
That second is.
Second from Ed. Thank you, Ed. So in case anybody has any questions on the proclamation, we've already vetted it out a couple times, made a few changes to it, got some feedback from Tom. I think we're good to go.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Nope. All in favor of approving the proclamation, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None? Okay, great. The proclamation's passed. Please issue it. And if you could, let that lady know that sent me several emails. And are you guys been on that chain that I've been on?
I think you forwarded it to us.
I think I did.
Yeah, that's.
Would you mind sending her a final copy to let her know that we've done that? Thank you. I appreciate it. All right, very good. Proclamation done. Thank you, Tom.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Good luck.
Appreciate it.
Good luck on Saturday with everybody, and thanks for your stewardship and your leadership. We appreciate it. We have nothing under old business? Nope. Yeah, we got new commissioners, so we don't have old business. It's all good. All right, very good. Town managers report.
We start out with the Parks Board.
Yeah, right. So the Parks Board met on November 6th. There were three main topics of conversation. Carolina Divert requested a fee reduction for holding a softball tournament. That's also a fundraiser for PAA and other organizations such as potentially WAMCO and others. The issue that she brought up was that the fee, which is about $400 for I think it's per day for the.
It is.
Per day for the use of the field is higher than what could accommodate their budget. And so the Parks Board requested that she submit the permit to use the field and then for us to send an email to staff to look through the exact logistics and what she's actually asking for and the reasons for it. And so she's not done that yet, but that was first topic of conversation.
And didn't we change that? So I can't remember what year it is, they'll blend into one. Didn't we used to change our policy where we were just renting the fields out for like nothing?
So that's for, baseball is a little bit different, and tournaments
Okay.
are a little bit different. And the main reason for
That's
that
what I mean for
has to
tournaments.
do with the amount of work we do into it. So when there's a tournament, they will drag the fields in between games. They'll have staff on site for to unlock the bathrooms and to clean up. So that's why tournaments are different than just you renting it for practice or something like that. So the fees are different between those two categories.
And as I remember, we used to rent it out for tournaments like at the same fee schedule, and then the people that run the tournaments were like, these are the best damn fields we've ever seen.
Right.
You know, and it's because we had staff fully out there taking care of the fields and prepping them all year, and then they'd come in and use it,
It
so.
really takes, we'll take a look at exactly what they need as far as town support, and then we'll evaluate that and put that against what the fees are gonna be, so.
Yeah,
Right.
good.
Gotta cover our costs.
And they offered to help out with some of the things as well, like cleaning up and things like that. So we asked them to send all of that information in.
Got it. Thank you.
The second topic of conversation was, of course, the dog park and the relocation of the dog park. The board voted to recommend that the dog park be relocated to Stevens Park, and that the Parks Board be able to work with staff, such as John, on the final exact location and amenities for that park, after hearing resident comments at the previous meeting. And then the third topic was about sidewalk priority list, and we've indicated areas for improvement, and they've sent me that directly. And so in the next meeting, we'll probably have something to recommend to the commissioners for future budgets in terms of sidewalk, both new sidewalks and sidewalk replacement. That concludes the Parks Board report.
Thank you for that. Appreciate it. Any questions for Jeff? Nope. Okay, good. Parks Board report done. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. Got it. Back to town manager's
Okay,
report.
so I'm gonna start out with the wastewater treatment plant, give you an update on the progress of the project we have going on there. Nearly 2 years it's been going on, denitrification filters, and it's actually 3 different buildings. One, that we have filtration units typically in place right now, multimedia filters that filter out like polishing filters to get the water semi-clean. But with the new legislation for nitrate removal, nitrogen removal, we had to build on to 3 big buildings. One just holds the water, preps it to go in through the filters, that has denitrification filters, and then it goes to another discharge area. So what it does is it reduces the wastewater, which reduces the nitrates in the wastewater by converting it into gaseous nitrogen. And it does this through anaerobic bacteria and then use methanol for the carbon source. So it's kind of a really cool thing, and it really saves the receiving stream from having eutrophication and, big blooms of algae and different things like that, and protects the bay also. This project's been going on, like I said, for 2 years, and it's made possible through an $8.5 million grant that we received from the state, so that's a good one to have. So the final pipe was put in today, right? And
Turned it on at 7 p.m.
it's working, so we're crossing our fingers when that happens. Next thing I want to talk about is lead service lines. The reason I'm telling you guys about this, just in case you receive questions from the public about it. So we had a phase 1 of our water service line inventory. We had EPA came up with a lead service line rule that says you had to identify every service in town to make sure that it was not lead. And this all came from Flint, Michigan a long time ago. So about 90% of them we know are copper or ABS plastic. And there was like 90 of them that we had that were unknowns. They're mostly the older homes that predated the system as we started to build it out. So we're asking residents, so we sent a letter out to them, notify them, give them all the health language that, lead is dangerous and everything, and asking them to take any pictures of the incoming lines so that we can start identifying them. At some point, we have a couple years to do that. At some point, we may have to excavate some of these lawns and yards and to get down into, to the pipe itself and identify them. So I think we're way ahead of a lot of other places just because WSSC in 1954 passed outlawed lead as far as a service line product, and our system wasn't even built into the 60s, so.
These are water lines coming into people's homes.
The service line itself, yes. All our pipes out in the street are ductile iron with copper.
Yeah.
So it's really the service line from where we connect on going into the house.
Into the home.
And so you guys just, and this letter, if I'm wrong, let me know. This letter is, I mean, I got one.
Right.
But this letter has gone out to really the older homes along Elgin Road and places where we just know for a fact that this is not, we know for a fact that we have, well, you said 90+% of our houses, we know that they were built after the era. We don't have an issue. But those other ones are going to have to.
Many homes built before 1954.
Yeah, I think that's I don't know if
But
that's a
they were,
hard
but the
cutoff.
water system wasn't, so they had private wells,
Yeah.
typically, which yours did too.
Yeah.
And yours had plastic in it, I believe.
You're saying, so they wouldn't necessarily have it.
Right, it's not just the year of date, but it's the year of date combined with the year of service. So when the service came
They
in,
got connected.
exactly.
And it's likely that there are no lead pipes at all in Poolesville, so that's, but we have to prove it. We have a couple
Makes
years to
sense.
do it, so. So if you get any questions about the letter that went out to some folks, we've had a lot of calls today, because it just went out on Friday.
And you guys will know that, you guys will find this out as time goes on. Anything that has to do with water, obviously, we pay very close attention to it, but it can always be a controversial subject. The reach of questions about water and the impact of water from usage, drought conditions, telling people to have cutbacks, which we're going to talk about, I think, in a little bit too. I don't know. No? Yeah, not
can.
yet. Not yet. That's okay. We'll get to it. But it is, it's not just a issue of like, do you turn on your faucet and how much water do you have? It's a political issue. So we just pay very, very close attention to what's going on with water. And that's, even though this is required of us, it's handled very delicately. Sure. So appreciate that. I got the letter in the mail. I was like, oh crap, what did I not do this time? But it was just that. Thank you.
See, the skate park project is going on. Hopefully by the end of next week, the skate park itself expansion, about a 5,000 square foot streetscape type of skating area, should be completed. Now, that was a $180,000 grant we received from DNR to complete that one. Once the skate park concrete itself is done, then we have to do the stormwater mitigation project for Montgomery County, which entails tying in quality and quantity control structures, which were about $80,000 worth of a $200,000 project.
That's not going to stop
You
the
hear
skate,
about stormwater and how crazy it is every time we go to build something, so.
that's not going to stop the skate park from opening, correct?
No.
Skate park will open, stormwater we dealt with as we go
There's somebody
along.
out there now.
We're on it. Right.
Talk about the bubble for a minute. So just to back up, I mean, we did a field trip visit, went down to St. Mary's. It was a community center, I believe it was, right?
Yeah.
And we actually helped them put their bubble on. It was probably 5-6 hours to do it. And they blew it all up and everything. So we wanted to get just a good visualization of how this thing worked and what type of manpower it took to put it on, which was pretty incredible. They had several guys from Highway Administration show up. They probably had 30, 40 guys there. And the county folks were there watching it too, which probably didn't help our case. But,
Yeah.
so now as we come back now we're looking at what type of hurdles do we have to go through to put a bubble on this pole here. And we've kind of outlined it, fire marshal, the fire access, you have to be able to access all sides of the bubble because it's a structure, then treat it as regular building. You have to remodel the bathhouse, put heaters in it, a heater for the water itself, and what's consistent, what's happening right now in the pump rooms, we really don't know. And then develop a budget of all the stuff. So we met with the county just to try to get the plans. And it took a couple of weeks, but now we have the plans. So John's going through them. We're trying to make a list of all the things we need to do and hopefully meet with the fire marshal to find out if that's going to be a deal killer or not. And then with the meeting with Greg Osnott, the finance director from Montgomery County, he let us know that it's really going to be an uphill battle to get this into the budget. And we'll be lucky if we just keep the community center in the budget at this point, was kind of his message to us. So, sharing that.
Same old stuff we always hear,
Yeah.
as far as I'm concerned. Even worse because of the budget year, but same old stuff.
So we're still moving
I get
forward
it.
as far as staff goes to come up with our reports and budgets.
Yeah. And John, you already have there's a place that you were already developing a model for. Was there one that you were already working on, Columbia or something like that? Yeah. So John, Clark Azar has some background on this that we're using in combination with now the plans that we we'll have our hands on.
We already do, yep.
Yeah, that we have our hands on, and then, thank you. And then and then in conjunction with what we've already seen with our own eyeballs when we went and visited it. And Wade, again, you you met with them, so you got the same conversation. This is really going to be difficult, but that's the same stuff that we hear all the time. And we just have to, again, just like we talked about the community center and having our property that we bought. How many years ago did we buy Dr. Dillingham Park? 18, 19 years ago?
2007, so.
2007. We bought it. Look how long it took to go to fruition. So, we know it's not going to be a short slog, but again, we're going to be the people that have our hand out, and we've already going to have done the homework that these guys, that the county, I don't believe, has done on something like this that we can tell, right?
I agree, right.
Yeah, so we're going to do as much homework as we can for them at our low cost. Appreciate John for, the engineers and the town staff's time. Yeah, what? Well, I'm warning him. We will review those bills.
Caught that.
Yeah. All right, so thank you for that. Now, there's a little more background, but that's all we got for now. Go ahead.
Then we're going to talk about some December meeting dates. We're meeting on the 2nd and potentially 16th. We don't know if we have agenda or not, and so we can just, if something comes up, we can meet. But right now, you said tentatively, we'll just cancel it.
Yeah, we talked today that, so we traditionally don't meet the second meeting in December, which is a little weird because we missed the early one in November. We'll probably skip the second meeting in December. It gets very close to holidays. But if we do have something that's on the agenda, we're going to know, and we'll figure that out before the December 2nd meeting.
Okay.
So just to let you guys know that, and appreciate it. And doesn't mean you hardcore have to keep it open. Probably we won't meet, but that's going to be the game plan for now. And then we also talked a little bit about January meeting times too. We know we're going to meet the first meeting in January. So it's the first Monday. The second meeting is a Tuesday because it's going to be a holiday on that Monday. So we'll probably meet on that Tuesday, but we're also, and we didn't talk about this today, but I talked to the delegation, and potentially, back like in the old days, they may come up and give us a briefing on that second Tuesday, because Mondays are always full with meetings, so they might come in on that Tuesday. So we'll see. Everybody good with the meeting schedule, though? That's our plan?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Okay.
I just want to say that Niles and I both are at your guys' disposal. When we start going through stuff and you have questions, call us, just use us. It makes our job easier for you guys.
Yep. All right, good. Thank you, town staff. Appreciate that, John. Thanks for your work on it, too. Good, congrats on getting the D-Night plant up and running. We were talking today, I was like, so what, you guys, when's it going to be up and running? He goes, like, 10 minutes. And that's a big changeover for us to have our effluent going through that system, so, yeah, and anyway, and there's always going to be little kinks in the,
Surprisingly not bad.
okay, yeah, that's good.
We'll probably schedule a tour, maybe in January, maybe it warms up a little bit. They still have a lot of construction cleanup to do and
Right.
a punch list they're going through, but you guys might find it interesting to go through a wastewater plant.
I've been on, it's a good tour.
I'm still waiting for a tour.
Yeah.
I know.
You guys keep saying, not yet.
I got pictures if you want to see some.
I'm looking forward to some field trips.
Good.
Maybe December 16th, if we don't meet, we could go.
It's still a mess down there.
Oh, you don't
We'll
want to
see.
go down for that.
Yeah.
The only thing is if we're demoing that one portion.
I know. Yeah, that's true. We
Yeah.
All right, we'll wait for you to invite us.
Yeah, we'll get it scheduled, guys, no matter
Just
what.
don't wear your suit.
Right.
Yeah, we'll get it scheduled. Yeah, we'll get it scheduled. All right, staff, that's it. Anybody else, questions from the people behind the desk, people from in front of the desk? Anybody got anything else for us? Nope. All right, go ahead. This is the most important motion you'll make today. Somebody.
I'll model for you. A motion that we adjourn.
Second.
Motion made for adjournment, second by Sarah. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We are officially adjourned. Congratulations and welcome aboard, boys.
Thank you.
Yep.
Loves it.
Yep.